Before we get started with Ty here, just want to announce that the game times for this weekend are being moved. Friday's game will be at 6 p.m. Eastern, and Saturday's game will be at 4 p.m. Eastern, and we'll have a release going out about that after the conclusion of the press conference. So we'll start with Ty. Ty, a big weekend for the Broncos and a big weekend for you personally on the ice. What worked well for the team against Miami?
Yeah, it was a great weekend getting 5 out of 6 points on the road. And I think what worked for me was just being hard on the forecheck and being a good net front presence. And lucky enough, banged in a couple goals and got a couple assists. And it was an overall great weekend.
Both your goals coming on the power play. What is it about your game that makes you so effective down low on the power play?
I guess I just try to keep it really simple, get right in front of the goalie's eyes and focus on the retrievals after a point shot comes down and just get the puck into Warzy or Mikey's hands there and just get right in front of the goalie.
Had to be good. Obviously, you're part of a very big freshman class, but to see Alex excel the way he did over the weekend in net.
Yeah, you know what? It was great for Alex. He played a really great 2 games, and it was huge for him. And he stepped up to the plate, and he made some big saves, and we needed that from him, and it was great to see from Alex.
All right, I'll open it up for questions for Ty.
Yeah, Ty, just describe, what the transition to the college game has been like for you. What were some things that maybe were, a little bit difficult in the early going, but now maybe are going a little bit better for you?
Yeah, I'd say it's adjusting to the speed of the college hockey and playing the best conference in college hockey. It's super fast, but took a couple games, but I'm starting to feel more and more like myself, and I think it's going to be a good rest half of the year.
When you're playing well, what are things that you're bringing to this team?
When I'm playing my best, I believe I'm really hard on the forecheck, and I'm getting 4 or 5 good hits a game and a couple good shots on net and just being right in front of the goalie's eyes all night in the offensive zone, and that's when I feel like I'm playing my best hockey.
What was your experience like in the pod? Just spending that much time with teammates and obviously a lot of hockey in that span. You think that was a benefit for you?
Yeah, you know what? It was a great time in the pod, just hanging out with your teammates all day for, I think it was 21, 22 days. We'd like to have a couple of those games back, but you know what? It was a couple of those games we got some positives out of, and we're just focused for St. Cloud this weekend.
Do you feel like you guys are starting to find a little bit more consistency? I mean, it looked like you guys played, pretty well over the weekend.
Yeah, for sure. We're really starting to get our game together here, and we beat St. Cloud once before already. We should have beat them twice, actually, and we plan on beating them twice this weekend.
Yeah, what are going to be some key things, I guess, when you play St. Cloud State?
You know what? We're going to have to get on their D and be heavy on the forecheck and just pressure their D and cause turnovers and get the puck low to high and get lots of traffic in front of their goalie here. And we're going to have to be really good on our power play and PK too.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Ty.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ty.
Well, Coach, obviously a big turnaround from the previous week. You go down to Miami and get 5 of 6 points, and you put up a lot of goals on a goalie that had been very stingy so far this year.
Well, he's a tremendous goaltender, as obviously everybody saw in the pod with his save percentage and numbers there. And we actually felt, Adam, to be quite honest with you, that the 2 games that we played at home against Miami, we probably played even better than what we did down in their building there. We did play some good hockey this last weekend, but I mean, the number of scoring chances they had compared to ours at home here, we're disappointed. Obviously, we didn't win the home games as well, but they've got that type of goaltending, and they've got some good young players as well too. But certainly their goaltender is a big part of their program.
So you have the lead in Friday's game, and Brett Van Oss makes a mistake and gets a 5-minute major. You persevere through that to win the game. And then the next night, Brett comes back and has a really monster game for you guys, especially in the third period.
Well, our gray unit, as we call it, with Jamie Rome and Brett Van Oss, and with Ty, was effective both nights. They got a big goal at the end of the first period, the first night, that tied the hockey game up, and I think really gave us some energy going into the second period. We carried that into the third, and we're very solid, limited their shots, I believe, to 18 in the hockey game and generated 38 ourselves. So that unit was good. And then obviously they they got a couple of goals when they were on the ice, and I couldn't get them out there enough in the third period. So real happy for them. The penalty that Brett took, the 5-minute major, was totally accidental. He was just trying to get back on side and happened to collide with one of their players. And it's a rule this year that no matter whether it's with intent or by accident, if you hit somebody in the head, there's going to be consequences there. But it was real good to see that unit performing as well as they have been. For Jamie Rome to get his first career goal as a Bronco, as I was saying after the game to the guys. I mean, we had 18 guys on the bench jumping over the boards to go get the puck for him to make sure he got the puck for the goal. But good for Jamie.
All right, make questions for Coach.
Yeah, Coach. Well, first of all, just describe what Ty has kind of brought to your team here in the early going. Obviously, he's got eyes and is a guy who's now bringing a little bit of offense. But overall, I guess when you look at his game, what are the things he brings to you guys?
Well, he comes to the rink with a smile on his face every day, as our other 13 freshmen do. We've got 14 freshmen here this year, so he's enthusiastic. He comes and competes hard and works real hard in practice. Had a tremendous training camp for us and certainly opened our eyes to his possibilities. He's like any young player, that there's going to be certain growing pains, and some nights he needs reminders on certain things. He needs to continue to be that physical force. He certainly was recruited to be a power forward, and when you're a power forward, that's being a power forward every night. And certainly he was this weekend, and there was a game last weekend where he wasn't, so he didn't play the second game. But that's a real credit to Ty, the way he reacted, and he's popular with his teammates and is a real good person. We've got a real young group here this year, Mick, but they're great listeners. They when we give them direction, they do their best to follow those directions there. They're going to make mistakes like any young player, but Ty's an example of somebody that we believe is getting better as the season progresses, and we'd like to think the best hockey we play this year is ahead of us.
Yeah. You guys are about 24% on the power play. It seems like you guys have kind of found the right combination there, huh?
Well, ask me after this weekend against St. Cloud, because they've got a penalty kill that's running at about 89%. And, Coach Ajax, I'm sure, already wired up for the PK this weekend against us. And, we're facing a team that's leading our conference now in the standings. And, you win 3 of 4 games against Duluth. That's pretty tough to do. So we know we've got just a great team coming in, and great job by Brett Peterson and their group to kind of bounce back after was a bit of a down year for St. Cloud last year.
Yeah. Just overall, you guys have already seen them twice. I mean, other key things, for them. I mean, is it just, playing that physical game against them and trying to take kind of some time and space away from them?
Well, I think it's going to be a battle for puck possession. I think, you just have to look at their offensive skill, and they've got some recruits that have come in and can handle the puck very well. They were a lot like us last year, really, really young. And now those guys have had a year experience, and they've brought a couple of freshmen in that have been impact players right away. So I think, to me, it's going to be a battle in terms of puck possession. Whoever has the puck most has the best chance to be successful. We got a lot of respect for them. Obviously, Purvix is having a great year on the blue line. They've got a lot of solid defenders as well. They can skate, they can transition very quickly. And, we have to be smart, but, being physical is a part of what both teams want to have on the ice. Is you got to be heavy on the puck, but you have to respect the speed of both teams. We believe we've got real good team speed, and we certainly know that they do.
Where are you guys sitting with goaltending going into the weekend? It looks like you've kind of gone a little bit back and forth with your 2 goalies. Where are you kind of at right now, Andy?
We actually, Mick, we haven't gone back and forth. We had to go back and forth a couple of games there because we had about 6 goals scored on us, and maybe it was time to change the goalie during the game. But, Austin Kane, just a solid player in our lineup, played, the first 10 games, the first 12 games for us this year. And Alex has played the 2 on the weekend at Miami, and I'd like to think I may not be a great coach, but I'm not a bad coach, and it would kind of be a tough decision after your guy just won a couple of games to not put him in the next time. So, he's continued to get better. He had to certainly mature in terms of his preparation and his mental focus, but he had some great practices over the last couple of weeks, and really has taken a step forward there. And we've got 3 goaltenders here. We're prepared to play them all. We wouldn't want to play them all in the same game because that wouldn't be a good sign. But to me, Alex is the guy that got the job done for us, so he certainly deserves to be back in there again.